Hey guys, um, it's been almost a month since I did my last video, and a lot has happened in that time. Um, I think my last video I'd said my son had left, he wouldn't be back for a couple of weeks. Thankfully, something happened where it caused him to change his plans, and he came now, or came then, and got here just in time for me to have a complete and utter hell fall upon me. Um, I don't know what happened. It could have been coronavirus for all I know. But something happened and it triggered an all out assault of all of my conditions to ramp up to 10. Um, I was unable to shower for the better part of about 2 weeks. I was unable to get out of my chair for about 2.5 days. I had no strength. I had to have the fire department come pick me up 5 times in the span of a week. Um, I sat in my own piss for 2 days. I eventually had to get a bedside toilet, um, which that in itself was a huge problem. I'm currently existing with a bedside urinal, a little tank with a hose next to me so I don't have to get up. Sleep is almost non-existent. It comes and goes. I'll crash at the fall of a hat, but when it comes time to try to sleep, I'll sleep for about an hour and a half, then I'll wake up for 2 hours. My strength is almost completely gone. I had to spend $800 on a shower wheelchair so that I can get put into a chair and rolled into the shower. I had to buy different things in the shower to use, like an extended wand. My shower chair also doubles as a bedside toilet, um, so which is actually a good thing. So when I go take a shower, it's easier to clean underneath me. But I've been using that for the last 3 weeks. This is all across about the last 3 weeks. Um, Luckily, like I said, my son had come back. Things had changed with their plans. He's supposed to leave this Sunday, and he has willingly given up his summer vacation to go to California to go see his grandparents that he hasn't seen since 2 summers ago, since the virus had everything shut down last summer. So instead of going there for 2 weeks, he's going to stay here, and he might be here maybe another 3 weeks total after this Sunday. I don't know. Maybe he'll be here for the rest of the summer before school starts, and that probably would be the best thing for me. I show some signs of getting better. My strength, able to stand on my own. I need some assistance standing, but being able to stand up on my own and kind of shift my feet around to sit into my wheelchair to come do this video. This is the first time I've been in my wheelchair for about 5 days. And the only other time I've been in my wheelchair is just to get up and get off of my recliner and sit into something where I can get into a different position for a little bit. I've had to add basically what's a stripper pole in front of my chair. I've already told you that I put this handrail that's meant for a swimming pool next to my chair that I was using to get up and down with. Well, my strength is not allowing me to use that right now. So instead, we put a solid pole, about 1.5-inch wide pole, wrapped with grip tape that you would use for like a hockey stick or baseball bat, directly in front of me. It goes from ceiling to floor with a cross beam across the top to help support it. And I can reach out with my so good right arm, grab it, pull myself up, and with help, pull myself up so I can transfer, get to the get to the bedside toilet or now get into my wheelchair where I feel somewhat comfortable today. Today is probably the best I felt, which is why I thought I would do this video. This has been a crushing experience. It's forced me to start talking to a social worker as well as my case manager about what options do I have for full-time care at home, what that may cost out of pocket, what are my options getting into a nursing home or an assisted living place. Because short of my son agreeing to stay here full-time, if this is my new normal, I can't do this on my own. You know, even living in this house built for me, you know, of $70,000 effectively down the drain for my father who built it, because I'm sitting here only a year later, exactly a year later, after moving in. So I don't want to do that to him and give up the house. But when it comes to living in a nursing home, they'll take my full check minus, I think it's like $75 for you to basically subsist on, while they cover everything else for you. With the assisted living, there's a program that I can get into where I pay out of pocket, but I think she said it's less than $1,000 a month out of what would be like $3,000 or $4,000 a month. So, oh, a cigarette died. Give me a second. So if I do that, I would prefer to go back to San Antonio so I could be closer to my son, who would probably be the person who would come see me the most and who I would most want to see. But I found out that in order to get on the program that I'm on here in Oklahoma, that I would have to cancel all of my services here and then wait upwards of about 90 days to get back on the programs once I started filing for them in Texas. This would be, I forget what their Advantage programs cost, like Star something. But anyway, it would give me the waiver to get into an assisted living place and pay someone out of pocket so I could still keep the rest of my money. Because I have other bills I have to pay. I can't just walk away from them. One of them being a car that I don't even drive that's in my name that I'm paying on because it's in my mother's name. If you look at me, you've seen all my videos, you know that I don't come on here without a clean-shaven face. Shaved head. Well, I guess I normally wear a hat, so you're not going to see my head. But I haven't had a shave in 3 weeks, or 4 weeks, really, I guess. My head or my face, so I'm looking all kinds of Grizzly Adams here. When this all started, it began in my arms. My arms got super tight where I couldn't really use them. They kept folding in on themselves. I thought my right arm was fully contracted. That has somewhat loosened up, and I believe what's helping that is a medication called baclofen. I was given that a year ago. It's supposed to be for spasticity. It's supposed to stop what's called MS hugs, where your muscles just kind of tighten, and I get it from neck to ankle. I mean, everything tenses up. To the point where I've even broken a Xbox controller in my hands when it hit me without me realizing it was going to happen kind of early on. But anyway, so this medication has thankfully started to work on me, and my right arm has loosened back up with less use than what I had to begin with, but better use than what I had 3 weeks ago. But that was the beginning. After that came the strength, where I found myself sitting on the toilet, going to the bathroom, and was unable to stand, was unable to pop myself up. And I've got grab bars at all different angles, and they're for different. Sometimes I feel different in different ways trying to grab the grab bars. So I have one that's horizontal, one that's diagonal, one that's vertical now. But I could not get up. My son could not get me up. He got me up the first couple of times, and then eventually I just got tired, and I physically couldn't do it anymore. And that was the first call to the fire department. The next call was to the fire department, and that was same day, later that night. By the end of that night, we had gotten the first bedside toilet. My grandmother has one in a storm shelter down the road, so we were able to get that over here. But it's meant for a little old lady. It's not meant for big old hoss like me. So my legs were cramped together. It was like almost impossible to use it, even to pee, because it was like everything was being crushed. Imagine that as you will. So I kept having problems peeing on the floor because I couldn't get everything into the little small hole that was there. Or I would think I was in there, and then it would just flow out anyway. I wasn't. With the new chair that I got, an $800 caster wheel bath chair that I have, it's got the cutout in it. It's a porta potty. It's also a shower chair, and it's a roll around chair. It's got handles on the back and stuff. So, and it's also got feet support on it. But it's not very comfortable. The back on it's way too close, and it hurts my back. Being in it for any length of time. Anyway, so that was the first two falls, or first two had to get up. Then I had to call them twice to get me out of the bedside toilet because I, again, couldn't pop up, even with the pole in front of me to grab hold of, and my son grabbed me from the arm. My legs just would not go, and the problem with that was I was spending too much time on it. My legs were going numb. Because I was sitting on there trying to go, and I couldn't go because of all the crushing problems I told you. So I'd be on there for a couple hours trying to go and not able to do it. And by the time I tried to get up, my legs were dead. So I had to call the fire department again twice for that. The last time though was a fall. I had gotten up in, I guess, the middle of the night to use the bathroom with a urinal, and my chair, of course, I always have it lifted, so I'm not standing up, but I'm kind of leaning forward, kind of tilting the keg. That's what I call it. But I was so exhausted that after I was done, I never laid back down. I apparently just fell asleep there, sitting up but leaning forward, and fell asleep and eventually just fell forward and crashed to the floor. So I had to call fire department to come physically pick me up for a fall that time. Bruised my toes up. I thought I broke my feet, or I thought I broke my right foot in that fall because of the way it bent. But it seems to be fine. There's a big bruise across my big toe that got twisted the wrong way. My son has been my full-time caretaker, cooking every meal, bringing me every drink, cleaning me from that 2 days where I said I sat and pissed because no one could get me up, and I didn't want to call the fire department for it because I was effectively safe. I mean, I wasn't sitting on a toilet where I could fall over or something. I could lay back. I just couldn't stand up. Well, that caused horrible, call it diaper rash, but underneath my thighs, like under the butt cheeks, really. And I saw a picture of that yesterday when my nurse came doing wound care for a bed sore I already had before all this started on my butt. And I saw the picture, and it just looks like a cougar clawed the hell out of me. She said that they're not bed sores. They could become bed sores by having continued pressure on them. But as of right now, it's just torn skin because of the way I rock back and forth trying to bounce up. There's nothing I can do about that. That's just where I'm at. But he's had to medicate me. He's had to bandage me. He's had to wipe my butt. He's 15 years old. This is not what he's supposed to be doing on his summer break. But I thank him so much for being here to do it, and now giving up his summer vacation to stay with me while hopefully this dissipates and I go back to my somewhat independent normal where I can do things. I'm still, even now, when I sit on a chair, sitting on a pee pad. Even because of the urinal, if it spills out while I'm trying to take it off or whatever, I've had some issues with that. If this is the new normal, I don't have a choice. Either he has to live with me, someone has to live with me, or I have to leave. And that completely kills me. Both options kill me. I would rather not do this to him, and I would rather stay independent. I wouldn't mind moving back to San Antonio to see him more often and not have this issue with him having to come back and forth. But, like I said, I don't want to walk away from this house so soon after it was built. It's not like you could rent this house out to someone else. This is made specifically for me. It doesn't have a stove. I use a air fryer, a microwave, and I've got a new wave cooktop that's got two different cooktops on it. Of course, I don't use it, but that's for whoever's going to cook me meals. It doesn't have washer dryer hookups. It's got no doors anywhere except for the front and back door. So it's just a wide open, basically a very large studio. It's about almost an 1,100 square foot studio with 4 foot wide hallways or open doorways, and a 5x5 shower. So I don't know what to do. My voice is finally coming back. That was the other thing too. This all started with me having a real groveled voice, and I couldn't sing. I told you that I like to do karaoke, and I sing on these different apps like Smule and Star Maker to record my performances. But I tried doing it, and I couldn't make it through a song without losing my breath. I was forcing so much air out just to talk. And eventually I got to where I almost couldn't talk. So me doing this video, this is what I'm saying. Like, I'm finally starting to feel somewhat normal, and hopefully this is regressing. Whatever the hell went wrong, whatever my body decided it wanted to fight and took everything away from me, hopefully this is coming to an end. Because I don't want everything else to have to come to an end. I guess you'll know that I'm doing better if I do more videos sooner rather than later. But I did want to let you know what's happening. I didn't die. I said that in my first video, that hopefully I didn't, there wouldn't just be a fall off of me not doing these videos. And it's not that I have, thousands of people watching this either, but for those who do, those who talk to me in person via Messenger on Facebook or email me or stuff like that, it's been hard to even text. My hands have just been so bad off. I do want to thank everyone who does continue watching this. This is, like I said before, this is one of those things that gives me some sort of purpose. Something to wake up every day and say, you know what? I can contribute to something. And if it's just so that if you might be going through this, you see what someone else is going through, it's not to scare you. It's just to let you know the facts. You know, this is the stuff you don't get when you're looking up WebMD, and this is the stuff you don't get in a realistic fashion from your neurologist. When they tell you how bad things can go, they just give you the very clean, plain, clinical bullshit that leaves you somewhat optimistic. Maybe that's their job, but the reality is so different than what I was told or how I thought it would go. Maybe it's my own fault. But again, I do plan on doing more of these videos. Maybe not as often as I was before, and maybe I'll wait another week, and maybe I'll just wait till the next day I feel good. Even right now, I'm starting to kind of wind down doing this video, so maybe this is taking more out of me than I thought it would. But I will talk to you guys again. Please subscribe, like, share, comment. Please comment. Let me know you guys are out there, that what I'm doing means something to somebody. All right, you guys take care. Happy belated 4th, and I'll talk to you guys soon.